Greetings, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Mark and welcome to EarGround, New Voices Amplified. Yes, like we promised, we're going to be having the man himself, the man behind the production that took Zimbabwe by storm, a groundbreaking production that has set the standard for Zimbabwean film and Zimbabwean production. Talking about none other than Bheta. He's the brains behind College Central, the production company that produced Wadiwa Wepamoyo as well as Special Class. We'll be hearing more about his journey and also the other productions that he's been part of. Debbie, welcome to EarGround.
Thank you so much, Mkoma. Thank you for having me.
Great. And I must start to say congratulations for such a beautiful and successful initiative. How do you feel now?
Overwhelmed, obviously, but I think the good part on a company basis, on a personal basis level, I would see we managed to actually start a project from A then to Z. I think that shows a lot of motivation really among the team. Could see as much as everything is hard, we can actually start a project. So I'm really proud of me and the rest of the guys. Could see we are capable of pulling out something like great like Wadiwa Wepamoyo.
Great, but yeah. Did you anticipate this kind of reaction for Wadiwa Wepamoyo?
No, definitely not. It's just when we were drafting it, we were surprised though, because we wanted to write something for women, not really for boys. Wow. So we thought could love, women, women, we thought maybe if we can do this, we can get the audience. So we didn't really say could see boys. When you look at my analytics, you can see actually more guys watch the show. So it was this is maybe due to the fact that the story actually is being told from Everson perspective, from a boy perspective. So there's no influence on Wakawanda. Yeah, so we just tried out something, but the response is definitely not what we had planned. It's just we wanted to around 45,000. I thought we were doing good business, but 200,000, 400,000, that's way beyond. Yeah, so definitely not expecting.
Wow, that's awesome. We'll touch a bit more on that, but let's take you back.
Yeah.
Debbie, your childhood. What was your childhood like?
I think I've been my family moved around. I've stayed in many ghettos. I've stayed in Highfields. I've stayed in Fakose. So I think I saw a lot of things. I saw a lot of stories that I felt could maybe one day when this happened. But when you grow up, you really don't know. Could see that's your calling. So I remember we used to go. We used to have my video cassette. So school then we didn't have that. So it's just saying then I had to imagine what was the movie all about. Then when you go back, your friends come tower. Movie. I feel like that's where the imagination started off. Then Patozo and Kuchikoro, when you write my comprehension, I didn't in your right sound, even the day you never forget. Yes. I was more of a storyteller. I wouldn't write my facts. I was just more intrigued by how people, how life in general, how I can put life on a paper, then it will be interesting. Then obviously I feel like sometimes if you're meant to be somewhere, eventually fate will make you go there. Then after that I had to go to MSU. Then MSU there wasn't film basically. By the time I Takashika, so it was more for theater best. So there wasn't something to look forward to, there wasn't something to be part of. Then I think Pataka's in Ndoko attachment, then we came back for attachment. That's when we kinda thought maybe we should create something that we want to be part of. That's where College Central was formed. So I feel like Kwesoku and growing up, I wasn't really sure. Society doesn't really give us much freedom not to express out. You can actually sit with your parents and tell them, which I want to make films. it wouldn't make sense. So everyone many many idea and man gonna wait a media no Buddha, but with the media it's not really a thing. So I feel like I've been fortunate enough I've been lucky. Maybe lucky is the word. I didn't have a problem with me convincing my mom I wanted to film. So I feel like whether my mom knew or my mom didn't know, the fact she supported me throughout. I think that might have influenced me into doing film. Because in a normal situation, film by the time we started, it wasn't really something you'd be proud of. You stand up at school, go on your DS, you always feel inferior because I'm always feeling the degree right doesn't have weight. So we always we felt like it was our opportunity to really change the narrative, to really make people want to learn film, to actually show people there's actually there's actually money in film, because I think it all comes back to can we make a living out of film. So I feel like that's what the journey has been. I feel like maybe after Tanga now we can say, but we've been working. The guys have been working. We've been pushing. It's all about us trying to change the narrative. It can happen with film. It can happen with film.
Wow. And I must say that, through your production, Wadiwa Wepamoyo, you changed the narrative.
Yeah.
You changed the belief system.
Yeah.
Now, for once, people are starting to pay attention towards
True.
film
True.
and TV in Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
despite a lot of the limitations that we have, and despite us struggling to have a film industry. Um, the greater memories that we had were of Neria, of Yellow Card, More Time. Did any of those films somehow intrigue you, inspire you in any way?
Yeah, definitely. I think for us who sometimes you came around with people saying Gucci, this is maybe the mini yellow card. That was a huge compliment. Uh, I think also Zuzwakati influence a level on Gucci to some extent. It might have been maybe the greatest love story Yatakatungo now. So even though if whatever story I was going to tell, Nengetori heavily influenced with past production. But all
Yes.
of these things, when you sit down now, but what my story influence with how the stories are told. And then also, I'm a huge fan of local content. Like everything Hollywood, 99% or 80%, I don't relate. So I hardly watch things because they should go to know local content because I feel like I can relate to that the stories. So Yellow Card, yeah, is we are heavily influenced by those stories. But on the other end, it wasn't a good thing. Could see we are being influenced by something chakaitwa kuma 90s, like maybe the time I was born. It's not a good thing. It shows good there hasn't been things that changashitwa with people in between. So I feel like it's a loophole that we need to change. It will make sense. 25 years later, someone will do something to say, this reminds us of Wadiwa Wepamoyo. It's a good thing, but on the other side, it's not really a good sign of it. So we need to cover all lost years, my years essay that we lost in between.
Great. We have lost so many years where there was not really much that was happening, like you say there. But filling this kind of void, you guys started off was the special class your first production with Simuka,
Yeah.
or you had done other productions before?
Uh, my other productions, I think we were still at school, so we never really count them as productions because mostly my school projects and stuff. So after school, I think we did a film before. We feature film. I think that's when we met Dog Vikela. It's not yet out. It's called Organized Crime. It's comedy. So I think that's when we met Dog Vikela. But still, film it takes time. It's in post production. We have many issues that we needed to sort of so. After so we couldn't release it, but we should release it maybe this year. That's when we did special class. So special class, I feel like for us was the let's call it the first bigger project that we did really after school. Then after special class, we did Wadiwa Wepamoyo.
Wow, and special class did well. I mean, I remember last year when I was in Zim and I was watching it on ZTV, and I think for a project to make it from internet and going on mainstream
Yeah,
broadcast platforms, that's actually an appreciation and an indication of the kind of quality of work that we have gone through. But
yeah,
what really struck me on Wadiwa Wepamoyo is, given the circumstances that we have in Zimbabwe right now when it comes to the creative industry, there is not so much money that is flowing in and out. but you guys put in a brilliant cast, brilliant production set, and everything was on point. How did you finance this? Who was funding this project?
So I think with Wadiwa Wepamoyo, the whole thing is good. It's also we wanted to do something chatiri comfortable nacho. Something chatiri comfortable nacho is basically film. So we don't even have much equipment. We're still trying to get much equipment. So we not, if we really want to do some weddings, chichichi, because train a level and my expensive wire to zone shooter. So we just decided, let's take a risk. Let's just do something that was at least if we can get enough money and go to Ngoraram, but at least cheetah film. That's when we decided to come up with Wadiwa Wepamoyo. But then at the same time, we learned a lot from doing special class, like how to run the production, even post production, even YouTube, how it works, how many views you should get, could it make sense? So we were project, we kind of like we're trying to do the right things that we did wrong in the previous production. So the feeling those kind of like so the feeling pre-production at Tagaita we've never done before. Like we really went into detail with my as much as we don't want to tell the audience could see setup is between 2006 to 2013. Let's show them. Let's try to use other things. So we don't have to show them. They just have to feel like this is it. And also, Chichi, now we're exposed to many good films. Chichi, we just felt we should just try this, maybe because that also what the audience are getting involved, exposed to. So we didn't want to tell a story flat. We wanted to tell a story where we give clues. We don't tell you everything because we also understood with audience actually now, just because they exposed to so many foreign films, it's now intelligent. And before you even get there. So we wanted to run away from that. But at the same time, we wanted to know, and also at the same time, we live in a community where in Zimbabwe, people, I feel they think it's very overrated. I feel like, no, don't believe it. So we knew it was a big task for us to make people fall in love. That's why Tanga targets are women, not men. But it was a shame because actually this can work either way, as long as you tell the story. It depends with which perspective are you using. So I think Tagano approach project with Tutori, I felt like we were prepared. We really knew what we wanted to get out of it, and we were not really afraid. So with the Tiwani, my finances, we had to get, we had to get someone I'm going to finance. Let's call him the executive producer. The executive producer of this Wadiwa Wepamoyo is David. David is a friend. So Takamuzo, where you give us this certain amount of money, then we shoot. So we just wanted a working budget, not a budget. We wanted to pure budget was to shoot Wadiwa Wepamoyo from in the beginning, and we needed about like 5K to 6K, but to get 6K from someone, it was never going to make sense. So we wanted to get at least around 1,000. Around 1,000 is a concept of logistics to move from one place to another, chichichi. Then we also had to transport Lee. Then Lee Ifana was away. So all those expenses by Ifana Kuketo, then equipment hire, chichichi. So we just created a plan to plan. And also Tanga Kubuda for YouTube. That's when we start paying the big calls. That's when we start paying the month hours. So that's more or less it works because you're coming. We just shoot for 10 days. For 10 days, after 10 days, you go to start a cheetah production. So we knew the man would come through YouTube, but we also understood we needed the views. We needed for everything to really make sense. So we just got someone a working budget. Then we took it from there.
Wow, this was actually a big leap of faith, a big step of faith.
Definitely.
Because if the project had fallen, this means that you guys could be in huge debt, and I think
definitely.
Great. But then the storyline, Wadiwa Wepamoyo, you co-wrote the story, and what I found quite interesting is that. Traditionally, somebody could have put that storyline in a ghetto, It could have been a ghetto situation and stuff, but you decided to shoot this whole production in Marlborough, right? Marlborough, right? Which was quite an interesting setting, but still we managed to drive the story home and connect with anyone from either they grew up in such a neighborhood or they grew up in Budiro in Mufakose. What was going on in your mind and your colleague when you guys were working on this concept, on this storyline?
we wrote the story with the budget in mind. It was the reason why maybe Mainoko is there for maybe less than 5 episodes is for a reason. We know the more we have 9 episodes, the more expensive it gets. So the feeling from the get-go, we have to write something, it was just, so we tried by all means to use what we had. What we
Yes, hello. So for those that are watching, stay tuned. With a bit of yes. Hello. I don't know what's happening with the connection there, but I think yes, I can hear you now. Yes. So you said you worked
now.
Great. You said you worked with a budget in mind, but now the selection of the cast, you had very interesting cast there. You had somebody like Ben Mahaka, who's a seasoned actor and director, and then you had a musician like Lee Makoni, and then you had a completely first time, set of cast. What criteria did you use to select people that played?
I'll start Ben. I think Ben has been in my life for some time now, and I really look up to him. He has been helping us through the filmmaking journey. So with Ben, I knew sometimes we'll be even afraid. I'm sending a script, we even like it or not because he's a filmmaker and stuff. So for Ben, I had to get issue a product value for the product. At least at Ben Akawea, knows the weight to the product. So I think that was issue at Ben. So Ben has always been helping me and so it was me trying to say I'm come my thing already. We're try Then I met Lee Cloud where she was saying I met Lee and Tapio Cloud. When I met Lee, I think we just become friends and she wanted to act. Then I thought maybe it's a good opportunity to see how you act. She was always someone who wanted to, so it wasn't a big deal. Agree, I would see, it would be flexible. Then Tapua Nagamona, she was doing those TikTok things, then I thought can actually work. This can actually work. Then so it's like nature produce it. Then you say, okay, this can work. Then Tadiwa, I've worked with Tadiwa before, I've worked with Everson before, I've worked with Dylan before. Then Blamos is a friend. This can actually work. So I feel like whenever I'm talking to someone, whenever I'm having a conversation with someone, next door, can this person act?
Yes.
So it's one of those things. I just use people that are around me. Then obviously most of them are first-time actors, so you're taking a risk. Will it work? Will it not work? So I'm very proud of the kids because I feel like they really put it out. I think they really did a great job.
Wow, great. And where do you see the future of Zimbabwean film going right now?
I think after Wadiwa Wepamoyo, I think it's a great testimony. It's possible because
yes.
I think Chaileka, what we felt like corporate involvement. If a film is going to be $10, people are not going to come and watch because film Zimbabwe at this point in time luxury. That's what we felt. So it's just our money. There's always been. It's just we want our products to be like bread. We also believe bread going to change, but to some extent it's luxury, but it's an affordable luxury. That's kind of setup we want to create. Film actually, with as much as we know it's entertainment, people can actually live without. We should give them to our words now. That's why YouTube works for us because Chatuda is for the thing. Because we understand now. I feel like we now understand. The more people will follow us, that's how the corporate follow you. So we also understood we have just to create something, attract one at the same time. So I feel like there's a lot which goes into it, even besides the story. There should be marketing, there should be chi. So I feel like now there's hope. I think we've found to some extent it was for now. I can tell you, maybe in 10 months, like Chichichi, our plan, it was in 10 months we should be done. We're in a position to do it in 3. So that means
Wow.
we can actually say it works. But shout out to Gangari, what working formula works for us for College Central. So College Central actually web series works because uh, if we can shoot something in a month, then in a period of 4 months, 3 months, stage scenario, it
Yes.
makes sense. Then also understood that chikoro atidzidziswe zvinhu zvakawanda. They don't even
Yes.
teach us about tax, about chichi. It's just we are here, we're trying to run a business. It's the most interesting chapter of our lives because zvinhu zvakawanda. You don't even know to open a bank, you have to do this, chichi. So we also knew at the end of the day, we have to make profit. It's not really about, I want to make films for the rest of my life. Does it benefit the business? As a business, we want to pay particular attention to advertising. We
Yes.
don't really want to, as College Center, we don't want to really make money through Wadiwa Wepamoyo, but we want to make money through people who come and advertise to Wadiwa Wepamoyo. So
Yes.
therefore, I think pop up, we might be in a position to really say this kind of module works for us. So I
Right.
feel like, also at the same time, pane element ukuthi College Center kunawo Kawanda. It's not one person. I feel like ndo party different.
That's what I wanted to ask there.
Yeah,
Like, how
yeah.
big is the team? And did College Central come up, like, is it formed by students? Is it like former students or people that you were in college with that came together to create it? Is it where College Central is derived from?
I think in the beginning, we're all students. I think we're all classmates at a certain point in time. We were
Okay.
about 7. So we scored it was about 7. When it was with Pablo, things would be cool. Names now, so like,
Yes. Yes.
but when reality strikes you, chichi. So now we're left with
Pull
about,
back.
yeah. So I feel like a lot of people left. So we were about 3. But I think the mandate was good. See, we wanted to create a situation where Tedo kata budget crew because kata budget crew, mema kata like the whole Wadiwa Wepamoyo is about 7K.
Yes.
Tichida munhu wese akashanda ipapo. But crew belongs to College Center. So if I remove crew we're looking around like 3 point something that we need to cover. So we felt like that's attainable. So College Center is just me, Ian, and Kuda at the moment. So
Okay,
we
great.
write, we shoot that, then we do post production. Obviously it's not sustainable. There's a workload you get very party, but I'm pretty sure in the future once the budget allow but what we wanted to do as College Central was let's be in a position of we don't really need Kawanda externally just to cut costs so that so we multitask a lot in College Central, like kuti tuzozosvika kuzoti takunoshuta takunoedita vakomana ngashanda.
Wow, great. But if money was to be put in the film industry today, how much would we achieve? How far would we go as an industry?
I think as much as I feel like industry music is actually blooming, I think if Japresa can actually say I sing, then go home, then I think we can get to that stage. So I don't feel we're really asking for much because audience tana because also advertise about hakuna audience. So I feel like an audience by YouTube on a TV channel where a TV channel more 6 million people are watching the show, but it's very subjective. But internet gives us an opportunity where you see for yourself. If it's 100,000, it's 100,000. So
It's
I feel like
there's that interaction with the audience too.
Exactly. So the feeling we're at a stage where we need to take advantage of internet, and you also the feeling we now have power. So when you go to a TV channel, you're gonna submit a proposal. They're gonna say yes, they're gonna say no. Then you're gonna go back home, want to change your proposal. Now we're at a stage you could see we can just go there and we make ourselves out there. Then people are focusing. Then as advertisers start sponsoring, although our debate was good, people like Simas, for example, actually want to advertise on YouTube. So when they came around, we were actually surprised to see, so this actually works. So this was like the formula that we wanted to create. Can this work? And I feel like if it can work for College Central, it can work for any other person who's creating for Zimbabwe.
Wow, great. And you guys use the power of internet to create a platform, and there's possibly somebody who's out there in maybe in Dotito or in Gokwe or in Budiriro or maybe in Kuluman who dreams to become an actor or dreams to become a producer or a director for film, but they don't really see so many examples around them. They
Yeah, true.
possibly um, have a dream, but somehow that dream is not, uh, getting the kind of inspiration that it needs. What would you
Yeah,
say to them right
I think I think generally what I'll have to say in the first is film is very, very expensive. Film is very expensive, and it will catch up with you if you don't put much effort in pre-production.
now? Yes,
When you're shooting, you see even prepare. If you don't prepare when shooting, even when you're editing, you will see what you need to get out of it. And the more you invest in film, the more you get out of it. Because if we have enough equipment, that means the quality is going to be on point. Then if the quality is on point, then you might attract guys like Netflix and stuff.
yes,
So it also depends with how much do you want to go with film, because uh, if we just want to do Zongo kids or and it's a hobby, you won't really get much out of it. But for
yes,
us, we look at it as business. We want to see how can it really grow. So it's also we are really into it full time. So I feel like it can be a hobby for some people.
yes,
Discontinuity. To some other people, it's a hobby. So they're not willing really to hire the one very required for it to really make sense. I've
yes,
worked for Battle of the Shelves. I feel like it's one of the great productions at Gambo Buddha.
yes,
What I learned from there was what Joseph Bunga was doing was he was hiring the right people for the right job. And I felt like it worked. When you have the budget, you have to hire the right people for the right job. But also at the same time, it's an expensive kind of thing. But I felt in the long run, if it's a quality product, you attract the
yes,
right people. So I'm feeling advice that I can give to anyone who want to start filming, because it's an expensive process, and it takes time. It's also whatever we learned up to now. So Kawanda like 90%. We learned particularly graduate. That's when we started learning. This is how you do film. This is how you do film
yes.
through experience. So kwenda chikoro, if you can go to the right school, it's a bonus. But I think the greatest lesson you can get is through experience. Because if you're not doing it,
Experience best teacher.
you never
Yes,
learn anything. Yeah. So I think the best thing is just go and try there. But mstopinda garema toziya imimi kuti what do you really want? Because I think isusu escola centro takatozuzwa isusu na come rain come sunshine. It's just let's do film, let's do television. We're not
yes,
gonna shoot. If we're gonna shoot an event, it's not a good thing. But it's one. If we're gonna shoot a wedding, tatopama one static. So it's just
yes.
we've always put ourselves good mind. Let's find ways of how can it happen. So always believed Kuti it will happen. So yeah, people should just try it out, but they should know Kuti what are they getting themselves into.
Great. 5 years from now, where do we see College Central?
I think 5 years from now, Kule Center should be in a position to really not do Wadiwa Wepamoyo on a weekly basis. I think we should be in a position. It's also the dream is good Monday, Mukoma Murugona something. Tuesday,
Yes,
Murugona something. Wednesday, that's what we are trying to push for. So I feel like with what Wadiwa Wepamoyo, when we look back to Wadiwa Wepamoyo, we see if we're putting out 2 projects in 1 week,
yes,
with those numbers, we could be somewhere. We're in a position where we want to turn those numbers into money. So we're trying to
right.
find all the possible ways we can do that. So we're feeling 400,000. That's a lot of money. If we
Yeah, yeah.
can take one viewer dollar, that's a lot of money. So I feel like the future. I think the future is bright. The future now is very bright. And at least now, it's a prototype. Now we know what to do.
Yes,
Worst case scenario, we know what to know up on YouTube. We get this. Now we want to create the best case scenario where
yes,
Biko can drive a car through just acting in cities. Now we want to see how much can, because those guys, Biko, Tadiwa, they do other things. Really film.
yes,
Tadiwa is never busy. Tadiwa anataka muda wechi and so for Isusu the next stage for the next 5 years to make sure that the actors they act like they are real actors. Like we need to motivate people. So we feel like we're creating a situation where we take care of the actors.
okay, great.
Then because the accident us eventually, because people don't even know me. Most people don't even know me, but many people know Biko. So Biko owns a value to the industry. Biko, yes, he has to lift the part. He has to be able to
Yes,
be afford what you want to avoid, so to drive. So it's just our mandate, the Scholars Center 5 years, is to create an industry for the actors, because we feel like our actors don't pick up on marriage, because for some actors we're going nowhere. So but we also want to, as much as Collision was growing, Biko as an individual is growing, Mantawa as an individual is growing. So it's just we cannot, it's really impossible now to say we want to change the industry because it takes a lot of people involved. But it's just a piece of cake we feel like we're in a position to really influence it, because I said so cool, and we feel like the more it grows, nature no resources are. So it's just we wanna change the narrative of film. Like I told you in the beginning, the other kid that I don't need to film in theater. It's not hard to tell your parents.
Great. And before we close off, last week the president said that he has tasked the Honorable Minister of Arts, Youth and Sports, Kester Coventry, to work on a strategy for the creative industry in Zimbabwe. And if you were to contribute something, if you were to have a chance to speak to her, what would you say to her right now as she's working on the blueprint and possibly one that will finally get to be implemented?
I think it all comes back to funds. I think it really took us time to convince someone that we needed funds to do something like this. So the feeling support for people who are doing things, because I feel like the other guys who are really pushing, and the feeling if they can get support from the government or from the minister, I think it will be great. And also we should be in a position to, I don't know how government works, but the feeling kuna structures the feeling we need to learn these things. I'll keep coming back to us running film as a business. I think your knowledge like completely graduate industry, then you don't even have a plan. And it takes taught me a lot of things. You have to understand what that takes means, because either way, not tax clearance, you're not going to do business with the bigger companies. So the feeling is even as artists, you should come in with a bigger picture. But I want to work with Old Mutual, but you're not just going to go Old Mutual. You need a lot of papers in order. You need to be registered and stuff. So the feeling, as much as they're going to give us funds, they should also give us knowledge, because knowledge is power. And also how to run business. So the feeling, maybe put those platforms where it's easier for us to get loans, because I feel like to get a loan from a bank is there, but other people are actually getting loans, but we're feeling that's as for us to make money, because as much as our manpower good is as an actor, if he just doesn't understand with 1 + 1 = 2, you never make it. As much even even as an actor, you need that. So I feel like you can actually make an industry out of art. Limited, so you don't even know profit and loss on a personal level. You one, can you do a profit and loss account? Sometimes I don't quit. Imagine doing it for an institution. So the feeling many artists, if we can be educated in terms of how to run a business and money, I think we could actually go far, because people are really talented in Mkoma out there. Like the first time when I was at Tapiwa Chimba, I was like, okay, there are people who can actually do this. So the feel like, but all that talent,
kind of support.
Yeah. So I think as much as we need funds, we also need knowledge, because they have to teach us how to fish, not going to fish all the time.
Oh, great. Wow, it's been awesome speaking to you. But a lot of people are asking, what's the future of Wadiwa Wepamoyo? Are we going to see it return? Or do you have an idea how soon it's going to come, if it's coming back?
Soon, I'm not sure. Soon, I think with the virus, we're not really sure when. But there's a season 2. That's what I know, Chris. But I told you, even the way at Gumira, we're really setting up everything for the season 2. But the season 2, that's the finale. After the season, but what we just want to let people know, or the audience know, the story is not just about Wadiwa Wepamoyo. The story is about us having an industry. So before Wadiwa Wepamoyo, you're supposed to give the audience something different, and Wadiwa Wepamoyo comes back. So I'm not quite sure what knows what's about, but I'm pretty sure it will be after we do something first, then because actually Wadiwa Wepamoyo, which will be the last part. So I know people obviously are still excited by Wadiwa Wepamoyo, but I'm pretty sure we are in a position to create something different. Then Tombo now a different perspective, Tombo to go with different audience. Because what we also understood that audience yakatosiyana. Kune audience yatodawo special class isingatodi Wadiwa Wepamoyo, kune audience yatodawo Wadiwa Wepamoyo isingade special class. So for us as college center, we're also learning to see audience here, because I feel like Pampas at Pamba it's called this kind of interaction where you're engaged with your audience. Then you start to see what the audience want, what they're happy about, what they don't like, chichi, and you feel like at a certain point in time, audience they do funny like episode 9 where people were not really happy because I feel like among my stories the feeling in your personal relationship they didn't have faith in us we can actually lead people there and then we can still make it in time. But the feeling now they now have confidence because we did it from 1 to 10 and I feel like it's a great show. So the feeling to create that kind of right energy and relationship between us and the audience. So the feeling that kind of interaction really helped. That's the good thing about social media and stuff. So now they have the content. I'm pretty sure season 2 won't really have many episodes where people feel could see we didn't really do much justice and stuff because they now believe that we can really So I'm pretty sure there's another something that we need to create. Then Wadiwa Wepamoyo. That's the last season.
Wow, great, and all the best on that. Your word to everybody who has supported Wadiwa Wepamoyo special class and all your projects. What would you want to say to them?
I don't think my words will ever be enough. I think the support is really overwhelming. Like, we're just ordinary kids, from an ordinary family. We don't really have much to go to. So we feel like if to get that much support, it just gives us confidence. Today I'm just gonna write a script because it takes a lot of courage without doing any kind of work. Script. For some extent, it feels like they're not doing anything productive.
Yes.
But now with the support, we're confident to 10 episodes now. We're confident to upload. At least we have an audience. So I think they have helped us to help them. We are now in a position where we can just continue writing movies and TV for our audience, and everything will be fine. So I think in any regard to thank you, like I said, it's not enough. I will just keep making movies as a thank you for them. Could we just keep creating entertainment? That's the best thank you I can give. Because words, they will never be enough. Because my views, I am come out. It wasn't part of our plan. It wasn't part of our plan. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time to be on EarGround and sharing your story and also inspiring a generation. You've inspired not only the viewers, but also us as creatives. You have no idea how much of inspiration that you've created. But I know that in the next 5, 6 to 10, 12 months, we're going to see some of the fruits and the results of the inspiration that you've created in your groundbreaking initiative. Because what you've done is you've changed the whole narrative and the whole belief system when it comes to possibilities that lie in the film and creative industry in Zimbabwe. And congrats and all the best on all your endeavors, all your projects, and congrats to the team, the cast, and everybody that you're working with at College Central. Until next time, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Mkoma. Thanks for having me.
Great. So thank you so much to everybody who's been watching. I'll be speaking there to Debbie Bheta, who's the executive director of College Central, and he's also the co-writer of Wadiwa Wepamoyo. And he was telling us a very beautiful story of how they created something from just merely having faith, from pure imagination, from his childhood days. Now they are building something that Zimbabwe has started to believe in and is changing the narrative with regard to the film industry. Until next time, stay tuned. We're going to be speaking to J-Caz later on, a Zimbabwean UK dancer sensation, which is taking the world by storm. Until next time, thank you. So yeah, thank you so much.